For joining me today. I'm Matt Huff, and I'm excited to announce my new video series that will focus on running. You may be asking yourself why a running blog is necessary, maybe with a rhetoric question like, don't I just have to put on some shoes and get out the door? If I did have to answer that question, I'd say, yeah, sure, if you're only planning to run 4 to 5 miles. However, for runs that exceed this mileage, it's vital to spend some time preparing before embarking on them in order to stay hydrated, energized, reduce injury, and keep you coming back for more. So, a little background on myself. I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'm currently a senior at the University of Oregon. I got into running, mainly trail running, at a very young age because my father's an ultra runner, which is classified as a marathoner who runs more than the traditional 26.2 miles. In the ultra running community, a runner usually isn't classified as an ultra runner until he or she completes a 50K event, which is equivalent to just over 31 miles. My dad founded and organizes the Hurt 100 trail race, which is a 30-hour cutoff race that features 5 loops of 20 miles. So this led me to being out on the weekends with him just to have a run or, do trail prep or cleanup sweeps. And I learned pretty early in life that I didn't quite enjoy road running because of the fact that I have flat feet, which means I have no arch, which leads to overpronation. And, roads are completely flat, which causes heavier impact on my arches, or lack thereof, while trails are already uneven and also a lot softer. I also really enjoy the environment of trails a lot more. Nothing beats the feeling of conquering a tough climb and getting the chance to kick up a bunch of roots and rocks on your way flying back down. Although I don't fall into the category of an ultra runner quite yet, I know someday I'll be crazy enough to at least attempt one. So moving forward, I'd like to address that this video series is mostly aimed for those who are trying to complete their first half marathon or full marathon and need some friendly pointers. Throughout this series, I'll address topics such as essential gear and packing, warm-ups, and a short segment on nutrition. So let's start off with some essential pieces of gear you'll need and how to pack them while you're running. Of course, every runner is going to need a good pair of running shoes or some variation of footwear. I say the variation thing because nowadays I see some non-traditional footwear choices like toe sandals. To each their own. However, I'd recommend you start with a traditional pair of running shoes first. Like I mentioned earlier, I have flat feet, so I specifically need shoes with little to no arch support to prevent blistering, pain, and discomfort. If you're unaware of your foot profile or the way your feet pronate while you run, you can go to a local running store and get a gait analysis, and the staff will be able to find a shoe that will be a good fit for you. As for apparel, I like quick drying materials like the one I am wearing or your average gym workout shirt. This is because sweat and or rain can really weigh you down and start to cause longer term problems like blistering. As for pants, I usually use 2-in-1 pants with liners, such as the North Face's Better Than Naked series. These type of pants, with the addition of Bag Balm or Body Glide, can really make the night and day difference in your comfort while you run. I also swear by Injinji toe socks. Now these socks prevent moisture wicking and reduce blistering since your toes don't rub against each other like they would in a traditional sock. Before moving on, I'd just like to address the 2 products that I brought into the last segment. Body Skin Glide and Bag Balm. These are both life-saving products. They're the difference between chafing and getting a bunch of blisters and rashes and just not getting them. And not only can you apply these between your thighs, but also your nipples, between your toes, and you might be a little disgusted, but trust me, you'll thank me later. Now that we've covered apparel and essential gear, let's get into packing. Usually you can pack all your necessary gear along with your hydration pack. There are a couple forms of hydration packs that are common to runners. I'll cover some of the most popular choices, starting with my personal favorite, handhelds. Handhelds work great because they're lighter than other options, easily accessible while you're running, and they prevent gnarly scratches on your hands in the event you slip or fall. They also have enough space for you to carry the most essential gear for your run, such as your phone and maybe some sports nutrition like GU. Aside from my personal preference, let's look into some other forms of hydration packs. The backpack and vest variation usually carry more water, as you can see by the size of this bladder, and they also carry a bunch more gear. These are good for longer runs that have little aid stations and or when the elements of the race are unknown or new to you. Although on the trail I so fully believe less is more, sometimes you can never be too prepared. Your run may require room for things such as headlamps, flashlights, nutrition, extra clothes, additional gear like hiking poles. In this case, the backpack or vest might just be the better option for you. The last hydration pack I'll discuss is a fuel belt. You'll have to bear with me as I don't have one up in Oregon to display. These fuel belts usually carry 2 bottles and have a small pouch for some gear. Belts are a good option for runners who want to run hands-free and don't want to be weighed down by a heavier pack such as a backpack. Now that I've covered some essential pieces of gear and apparel and how to pack them while you run, I'd just like to end by saying thank you for joining me today. I really hope this video has gave some helpful tips for those of you who are interested into getting into longer distance runs or throw in some trail running into your weekly routine. I wish you the best on your upcoming runs and races, and I hope to see you next time for a short segment on nutrition.